Hello, and welcome to part 3 of my video series on modeling the Thunder Basin Railroad. In part 2, we talked about software options for designing your track layout. How you will eventually operate your model railroad is part of the design phase and should not be overlooked. What you decide to use may impact your layout design. Will you use conventional transformer, command control, DCS, Wi-Fi system, or some computer control? These are all options. So we will continue talking about the design phase as it relates to how you will operate your trains. In this video, we will be looking at the operating options in the design of your railroad and some ideas using the software that we discussed in part 2. Track plans are easy to design, but will they allow you to run your trains effectively the way you envision them run? Playing with Train Player is one way to see your train layout function. And once you're happy with the layout, you need to think about running those trains in real life on your layout. You may want to watch a video on YouTube by RHA90272, which covers some operating ideas with conventional and command control. It's a great video, and I think you'll have fun watching it. Today you are very lucky because the options available to you are high-tech and use tools which complement your daily life, such as computers, tablets, cell phones, internet, Wi-Fi, wireless devices, networking, and solid-state electronics, modular connections, etc. A great experience awaits you. You can run your trains from manual transformers and manual switches, all the way up to complete automation and walk-around controllers. The choice is yours. Some of these options are not cheap, though, and they can be expensive. But, as they say, you get what you pay for, and the level of your investment is really going to depend on just what you want to do and how you want to do it. I'm sure you have seen videos of very complex layouts and the best of the best in terms of controllers and locomotives. This hobby will allow you to do whatever you want, and it is your hobby, not someone else's. So don't think you have to compete with others or spend a lot of money to have fun. Do whatever it takes to make you happy. In part 2, I briefly talked about CTI Electronics and their system approach for model railroad control. TrainBrain from CTI Electronics is a free software for model railroads and is the foundation for integrating the electronic products from CTI and other suppliers. Even if you don't buy any CTI products, this software is excellent and may challenge your thoughts associated with how you're going to run your trains. I personally think this company has done a great job designing a control system, and it is worth your time to consider it. We will be talking in more detail about CTI in a little while, but first, let's talk about what our options are. Some of the major players in 3-rail O-scale railroading control systems are Lionel, MTH, Atlas O switches, Atlas Signals with their 21st century options, CTI Electronics, and Custom Signals, which apparently is now under new management, but they have excellent products. The solution I have chosen to meet my needs for the Thunder Basin Railroad will involve a little bit of everything. I don't want to invest in any one system and be limited to its features and costs. I want to be flexible and be able to run my old Lionel trains, my newer command control trains, my MTH trains. I want to throw switches remotely and have a prototypical signaling system. There are many, many ways to accomplish this, and I will show you what is my current thinking. It all starts out with Lionel and their powerhouse power supplies. The items, often called bricks, are standalone power supplies which connect to the Lionel command system. But they also can be used as a source of power for the MTH DCS system by connecting them to the MTH TIU module. On Eric's Trains YouTube channel, this video here shows these connections on his layout. I also have a ZWC transformer controller to allow manual control of conventional equipment. And it can also serve as a way to power up your command system also. Integrating Lionel and MTH is fairly straightforward, and there are many videos on YouTube covering these interfaces. Eric's Trains, again, YouTube channel covers the MTH command of Lionel command control locomotives. Eric does a real nice job covering these systems, so check out his channel for many videos on his approach. This diagram was made with TinyCAD. TinyCAD is a program for drawing electrical circuit diagrams commonly known as schematic drawings. It supports standard and custom symbol libraries, supports PCB layout programs with several netlist formats, and can also produce SPICE simulation netlists. It is also often used to draw one-line diagrams, block diagrams, and presentation drawings. It is perfect for making drawings for your layout wiring. And the best part is, it's absolutely free to download and use. You can see on this wiring diagram, using TinyCAD, where I have integrated Lionel Command Control and MTH DCS together and made options available for computer interface. There are many pluses and minuses to this arrangement, but it may serve my purposes. But the hardware employed may change from my research into CTI electronics. One of model railroaders' favorite monitoring methods is the use of a control panel. These panels typically have a schematic of the track plan with panel switches to throw track switches and lights to show status. There are many ways to make these control panels very sophisticated, but usually at a high cost and certainly with a lot of wires. Laid-Off 6 YouTube channel does a nice job of covering his construction of a control panel. The video shows a very nice way to do this job. Look at his work and detail required to build this panel. The job was done very well, and I certainly applaud his efforts and success in this panel for his model railroad layout. But these control panels are fixed. They're not easily modified and don't allow for easy changes in a layout over time. You have to physically change the panel and the wiring each time you make a change. But in the long run, they can be very, very impressive. Let's take a look at another approach. CTI Electronics has provided a way to build these control panels through their Train Brain software. The panel is displayed on a computer monitor or small TV screen. There's no physical wiring to the panel. There's no hardware, just software and displays. This software controls their electronic products to activate switches, signals, and can even run your trains if you want to. When looking at the cost options, I believe that CTI may be able to provide a much less costly alternative to track switch control and signal control. So let's take a look at the CTI Train Brain software from the operating app, the CTC panels. This is the CTC panel I programmed for the Thunder Basin Railroad. You can see it represents the Thunder Basin Railroad track layout schematically with all mainline switches in place. I've also placed signals on the panel which react to switch movements. There are also 2 additional panels for details in the main yard and my steam diesel facility area. I will be using multiple computer monitors to see all 3 panels at the same time. The software is very impressive, and again, it is free. The CTC panels are still in the programming phase, so they are far from complete. But it represents how powerful the computer can be to replace all those conventional panel switches and hundreds of feet of wires. The CTI-CTC panel is built with their TCL programming language, developed by CTI. It is very easy to use programming language, especially for those who have some programming background. But even for a novice, the user guide is very well written and will get you programming in minutes. The other nice feature in these CTC panels is that they were created without having any hardware connected to the computer. There is no railroad built yet.